Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. This is going to be the second video of the day about a lady basically who's been on the streets for quite some years. And it is quite interesting, the Tales of the Streets. That he interviews them and asks them questions why they're doing it and stuff. It is pretty deep stuff, and sometimes I think that sometimes there's two sides to the story, how someone was brought up, abuse, So we're going to get into the video and then I'll comment as we go.
All right, so I'm back with Donna. Donna, how have you been?
Okay, hot. Better than last time.
Better than last time?
Getting used to it. Except for the weather. It's so hot. Arizona sucks.
What's been going on out here? Did she tell me that you got robbed recently?
Constantly. Went to Van Buren to try to get away from being robbed, and every time I turn around, they're taking my money, taking my food. It's crazy. The homeless out here are nuts. I guess they're afraid, where their next meal is going to come from. So they do what they got to do. I'm too old.
Street life is absolutely crazy. What's she got to be? Probably late 60s. Probably 70s, but she looks older than what she is. I'd probably see mid to late 60s, but obviously hard life, drugs, drink, smoking, deteriorates you very, 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 very quickly. And it's such a shame. But in some ways, even though Donna's on the street, the way she's talking, she knows a hell of a lot about these tough times. And I have to admire her for that, for keeping going. That's something.
To be doing that kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Trying to get housing. It's hard.
How's that going?
Slow. They say if you get a check and are disabled and on the streets, they'll get you housing. They don't say it could be a year.
So are you on the waiting list right now?
What waiting list? There's no waiting list. You just gotta jump through hoops, You try, but you can't do it all. But I'm working on it.
Seems like to me that she wants somewhere that she can call home and a safety net, which is very, very important, especially for an older woman. For any woman on the street, at the end of the day, it's very, very important. Even it's a bed sit where she can cook. She may have to, you've got your room, you may have to share a toilet, which is fair enough, but you've got a safety net where you can lock your door and you feel safe. I think that's important.
It's hard to get up in the morning to answer an alarm clock when you don't even have electricity to make the appointments. They're supposed to pick you up and take you places, but they don't show up. So you're stuck. They don't even bring water anymore. Once a week they'll bring you some ice water and that's about it. They think you're supposed to live on it all week long. It's a little bit tough. Do what you can do. They even charge for water around here. This lady at Food City yesterday, I was 3 cents short for a bag of ice, so she made me go panhandle it before she sold me the ice. I couldn't believe it. That's messed up. We should be able to get free ice and water somewhere. They opened up
100%. Governments, councils, if they can't provide bottles of water, which we know they can get as cheap as chips if they want to, if there was a fire or electric went down, the first thing they're provided in an emergency is water. And that should be something that goes to these people who are living outside, is water. You know, a sandwich. You know, it doesn't cost that much for the state to actually do that for them. That's pretty sad, especially in the summer months.
The new soup kitchen though, it's really cool. You know, as long as they're open, they let you lay in the air conditioning and they feed you and stuff. It's pretty cool. I liked it.
Where are you staying at now? Are you at a shelter?
Why go to a shelter? Then you can't get housing. If you live in a shelter, then you don't need housing.
Have you ever tried going to CAS?
I went there to try to get help. They give you an ID. That's about it. You know, unless you want to live on their property. And I've heard worse shit there than that's on the streets. You know, people beating you up and taking your shit, and you know, it's just crazy. You know, they supposedly.
It's like a cycle. It's like a merry-go-round. You want to get off the streets, but you have to jump few hoops to get where you've got to get. And that's not the only thing. And then you've got to survive. Then, you know, you could get beat up there or raped out there. There's so many psychos on the streets at the end of the day. It's tough. Sometimes you don't know. I can see why some of these people drink themselves into oblivion or think that they're worthless, or basically take so many more drugs just to say they don't have to deal with it at the end of the day. Yeah, it's completely wrong, but it's though these days society seems to be, you know, wiping their hands clear of them. Yes, you have a choice to go into drugs and what you put into your body and stuff at the end of the day, but I think so many people these days have got emotional and mental problems which sometimes are not dealt with, and there should be more help from the States, whether you live in the UK, the US, anywhere really. At the end of the day, I think government money should be piled into it to resolve this.
Opening a new shelter. Who wants to go there? If you go to a shelter, you can't get housing. You know, I don't want to live in a shelter for the rest of my life. I want housing. I gotta check it, can't even use it. It's not enough to get a house by yourself. I don't know. I've never seen so many homeless people in my whole entire life as Arizona has. You know, they supposedly help you, but they don't. Only if you want to, you know, live in their little shelters and live their kind of life. If I wanted to be stuck, you know, in prison, I'd go to prison. I want to have my own place.
It seems like the homeless population is getting bigger out here, ain't it?
Yeah, because, you know, we can't afford to live anywhere. Can't afford the food. I get $45 in food stamps because I don't pay rent. Where am I going to pay rent for what I make a month for Social Security?
It's unbelievable. Like I said, it's a catch-2 situation where this lady is trying to get herself into affordable accommodation through the council or the state, but you know, they're only giving us so much money just to get food stamps. It seems like as long as you've got food and water, they don't seem to give a shit. And yeah, they've got these halfway houses, but you've got to be out at 8 o'clock in the morning and then go back at like between 5 and 10 p.m. You don't want a life like that. You want a life where you can come and go when you want and it feels comfortable.
Can't. You know, you're stuck right in the middle. And if you can't make it to these little soup kitchens, if you live too far away, you're stuck. You know, you got to try to get there. Sometimes it's too damn hot or it's too damn far. You know, they don't even help you with bus passes. You know, they should at least let you, if they know you're homeless, they should at least let you ride the bus. You know, and if you can't get a reduced pass, unless you get online, How am I going to get to a computer to get online? You know, to get a bus pass. I don't know. They tell you to go here for this, you know, there for that. They don't tell you it takes 3 months to get to that level where you can get anything.
Jesus.
Welcome to Sapphire. We're not here to get you high. Pipes are not our cup of tea.
You know, as soon as you get an ID, somebody steals it. Every month I have to get a new food stamp card, a new fucking bank card. I'm sick of it, man, and they charge you for it. I had to pay $5 to get my food stamp card because it's been stolen too many times. You think I want it stolen? Shit. I don't know. Arizona kind of sucks on their homeless help. They need to fucking, you know, catch up with the rest of the world. I lived in Texas and you don't see homeless people like this. Here, they're everywhere. There's not a neighborhood that don't have homeless people. They don't have nowhere to stay. They get kicked out of every spot they go to. You know, there's not enough room in shelters.
Is there more help out there in Texas than here?
Hell yeah. You know, if it's too hot, they put you in a stadium. You know, at least you can stay cool all day. If it's too cold, they do the same thing. Here, there's nothing. You know, if you don't live close to a food bank or a food place to eat, you suffer. You know, that's...
Jesus. That's unbelievable. It does seem that all over the world, money is tightened up. I'd say compared to 10, 15 years ago, money went a lot further. Food prices are on the increase. Even stuff like cleaning materials like domestos has gone up like 50p. It's absolutely crazy. And some of the treats which you've got, you have to sort of put them back these days and go for bargain stuff or stuff they put on a special price, or sometimes look for discount food, because that shopping you done, which would cost you about 80, 90 quid if you've got a family, you're probably talking about 150, 160 now. You know, it's a complete joke. And obviously now the thing is with the councils and government, which I realised, they can only put so much food on a day. They can only donate so much money. Everyone is on a tight budget. I mean, the carnival in our city, at the end of the day, was the council said they can't afford to do it. I think it cost, everything was 32 grand, and the council could only put up 10. So the carnival didn't go ahead. It's because the city councils are basically saying that they can't afford it anymore. It's absolutely crazy.
That's why everybody gets robbed. You know, because they have no other way to get anything. You know? Maybe they should, you know, some of them people up there that think they're helping us should live out here like we do. You know, every day get kicked out. Gotta be up at the crack of dawn or you have nowhere to go. What are you supposed to do all day? You know, it's 115 degrees. I bet nobody else would sit out here all day like we do, waiting for it to get dark so we can lay down, you know, get off our feet. I don't know, I don't get it. Arizona just doesn't, I don't know, they don't want to help. It's like they think they're too good, you know, to help the homeless or whatever. Texas helps everybody. You know, they don't care if you're homeless or if you're rich. You know, you all got the same opportunities, but there's more places to go.
You know what I realised, Donna? She's still got her faculties together. She knows the system. You can see inside out. It wouldn't have surprised me if, you know, she had a good job or she was quite academic. Sometimes we always think that, and sometimes people are down and out, but you never know what they've been through. I wouldn't give anyone money, but like I said, because I always think that you're supporting their habit. But what I will go and do is buy them food, a sandwich, or packet of crisps, or something, or a bottle of water, something that they've got to nourish them. You know, I think that's pretty important in life.
You know, you don't see homeless people everywhere camped out. I've never seen a tent like this before, ever, where they actually live like that. You know, I'm not ready to buy me a tent. It'd be quicker than trying to get housing here. You know, they tell you to come to an appointment. How am I going to wake up by 8 o'clock in the morning if I have no alarm clock? You get a phone and somebody steals it. Well, because an Obama phone is if you can't keep it. You know, when I first came out here, I kept up my, you know, my regular phone service, T-Mobile, and all this shit. You can't do that here. You got your phone 3 days if you're lucky, you know. I've had mine a week. I'm shocked. You know, but I practically have to sleep with it in my underwear. If they don't steal those. Wash my underwear out, woke up, no underwear. You know, it's pretty bad.
It's crazy. That is nuts. You can't keep your own underwear. You know, you've got it out to dry or something, and your clothes go missing. That's mad. And then you have to walk around with the clothes on your back. That's crazy. That's when you know something's seriously up with society. That's nuts.
That one, somebody's got to steal your underwear. You can't even keep a pair of underwear. You know, you can't afford to buy new ones. You can only afford them once a month, and when you get a Social Security check or anything, you know, before somebody steals them. You know, what are they going to do with a size 0 clothes? How many people do you see in my size? None. But I'll bet you that 300-pound woman just stole my underwear. Why? So she can turn around and sell them to get what she needs.
I'll give her that. Donna's got character. I will give her that. I suppose you go into survival mode. I know a few people in my area that are on this street, and they've got to be pretty charismatic and jovial to sometimes to get through life, or to get a tip, or get someone to give them, not, you know, I shouldn't even say that, a tip really, but no, to give them something to get through that day for a reason. And the locals started getting to know them. So you tend to know the good ones from the bad ones. Normally the bad ones just want to go out and get drugs again. The ones that are selling magazines just to get into the homeless shelter, I truly respect that. That's a good thing. Or the ones you just see that generally want some food, or they say, look, give me £1 and I'll go into Tesco's or a couple of quid to get something, you know?
It's sickening. You know, we can't afford to go into a regular store like people, because we don't have it like that. You know, they tell us to get a job. We can't do it. We don't have no clothes to get a job, have no way to get to a job. You know, it's just like a vicious circle. You're just stuck.
Now, artificial intelligence can generate ad creatives automatically. The program is called Ad Creative AI, and it helps
Are you still out here working the streets?
Of course. Otherwise I wouldn't eat. I didn't make a date last night, so I didn't eat today. I'm lucky some guy bought me a soda. We don't have water, we don't have nothing. They should at least have little stations where you can go if you're thirsty in the daytime to get a drink of water. You know? If you're lucky, you can find one of them fireplace things where the, you know, fire trucks will hook up to, and maybe you can rinse off and get some hot water. Because there's no cold water around here. You know, Salvation Army brings them once a week. You know, but halfway through the day, that water's hot. It's not frozen anymore. We don't have a refrigerator we can put it in. You know, shit, you get a cooler, somebody steals it so they can put their water in it. You know, I must have had 70 coolers. It gets old, you know, you can't afford to buy them. You know, if I get my check every month and buy a tent and a cooler, I'm still going to be stuck at the end of the month not having a cooler or a tent. Because somebody will steal it.
Jesus, that's mad. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Living that kind of life out in the streets, don't know who's going to rob you, don't know who's basically going to attack you, don't know who's lurking around the next corner. It must be a very, very scary place. But I guess sometimes she probably knows a few people that look after her in her area, but it's still not safe at all for anybody.
You gotta sit in it all day in the heat or somebody will take it. You know, I don't know what to do. I'm just confused.
Donna, if anybody watches this interview and they have some help for you, whether it's donations or any other sort of help, do you have any contact information where they can reach you?
Right now, my mail goes to 3255 North 3rd Avenue to the Parsons Medical Clinic because I have no other way to get mail.
Okay.
You know, I have to order my new bank card every single month.
Do you have an email?
I don't even remember it half the time because I have to keep changing it. Because I get new phones and they won't let me use my old one. You know? I don't know.
You don't use Facebook or anything like that?
I can't keep a phone long enough.
Okay.
You know? I've tried. All they gotta do is look on 27th Avenue and you'll see us out there, you know, trying to make it. I don't have no clothes, I don't have nothing.
I'm sorry.
Jesus, that's deep. That is absolutely deep. It's just like they're surviving in a different world. A world where they get some help, but their life is among themselves, and it's sad to see at the end of the day, because I think the states can do a lot more to house these people who want to be housed at the end of the day. I could understand if, you know, she was proper, you know, on drugs, which I don't know, to be honest with you. You know, she's obviously working the streets, but she's trying to make a living, and she's trying to sort herself out. A lot of people don't want to sort themselves out and are happy to actually go, you know, just go through life. If they survive, they survive. If they don't, they don't. But obviously, she wants to survive, and she's realizes she's a lot older now and looking for a place she can call home.
All right, Donna. Well, thank you for sharing your story.
No problem. I hope it helps somebody.
Are you okay with me putting this on my YouTube channel?
Sure, no problem. If it helps somebody, then it helps something. You know, maybe people will start helping, and you won't see us on the streets. Make it easier for us to get places so we can get a housing. I guess water. That's the main thing. We're all dehydrated because that's why we're swollen, because we can't even get cold water. Nobody else wants to drink hot water, neither do we. Cold water would be great. Not asking for fucking food and all that shit, just some water.
All right, thank you, Donna.
No problem.
Extremely sad at the end of the day, because obviously she must have been out there for some years to know what she knows. But like I said, I hope she and the ones that want to change their life around do get accommodation, because at least they get a safety net. At least she gets to keep her clothes, cold water, able to wash, get some food, and live a life where she feels safer than what she does now. But I think it happens all over the world, and I think the states and the government should do a lot more to help these people, especially the ones that, you know, are trying their hardest to change their life around. And you can follow Donna. I think there's quite a few videos on her, but I thought it was pretty important sometimes to put these videos out there, because I have a business, I have a couple of businesses, and I've worked hard, you know, but like I said, I think some people suffer for different reasons, and sometimes You can't just walk past them or abuse them or look down on them, because you never know what someone's been through. If they put themselves there and you say, yeah, they're hard done by, but like I said, you don't know that person's story, so you can't judge them on just being on the street, because I know some good and bad people on the street, like we do in life. Anyway, hope you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment and support your boy Marvin. And I hope the audio is better. Thank you.